Hello everyone, Stepan here after a long time. I've had very busy weeks. The past 2 weeks have been very busy at work and at home and chess wise as well. And first of all, I'm not going in order in my Road to GM series because I owe you 9 games. I have played Zagreb Open, a tournament which finished last Saturday. And I've played 9 rounds there, so I'm going to record them, and now I'm continuing as if they were already recorded. So I'm going to make them after I've come back from this tournament. And now I'm playing Zadar Open. This is day 2. 2 rounds have been played. Round 3 is scheduled in the afternoon. I arrived to Zadar yesterday, and I finally found some time for myself and for chess, and I took a holiday of work, and I'm not doing anything else but playing chess, so that makes me very happy. Now my rating, as you can see, is 1862. At the Zagreb Open I have earned 13 points. It should have been much more. You're going to see that in the games when I record them. And one thing I want to mention is that when I started this YouTube channel at the start of 2018 in February, well, before that even, I've set myself a goal, as I always do, and my goal is to reach 1900 FIDE in 2018. And since I lost the last round of the Zagreb Open, which would have been just about enough because I played a FIDE master and I had a great chance. Now I'm missing 25 points, so with the 13 points I've earned at the Zagreb Open, now I'm at 1875, so I need 25 points. And yeah, that's why I came here. Normally, if I had reached my goal already, I wouldn't have taken a holiday, but I believe this is far too important to miss this opportunity because this is the last tournament in this year. Now in rounds 1 and 2 of the Zadar Open, I've had 2 very exciting games, and I've just come back from round 2, which I lost. Well, I've been training myself not to be upset when I lose a chess game, so I hope I'm not upset. At least I'm feeling much better than before. And by the way, I'm in my room now. I don't really have a proper desk, so I have some technical issues. I can't really record normally, but yeah. Another thing, I'm not going to input my games into Lichess before recording anymore because I want to see whether I can remember all the moves. So let's start. In round 1 I was playing a lower rated opponent. This is Zadar Open B tournament, which is up to 2300, so I'm actually in the upper half, so I got to be paired down. In round 1 I opened with pawn to e4, we have e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to c4 the Italian, and he played knight to f6. Now, the variation which I normally play, which I've played in this game, I've played it twice at the Zagreb Open. Both of the games were remarkably complicated, and one of them I bluffed into a win, and another one I missed a chance to win. So yeah, I've been playing this variation a lot lately. So knight to g5, he has to play d5, so e takes d5. Taking on d5 with the knight isn't good, that would be the fried liver, but I wouldn't even take on f7, I would play d4. He played the most sensible move. By the way, my opponent is about 11 years old, 11 or 12, a wonderful kid who plays chess well. This is all theory, takes. And normally, up until Zagreb Open, I've always played bishop to e2, every single time. And what I don't like about this position is that after bishop e2, f6, h6, knight to f3, here my opponent can play queen here, and after f4, which is the only move, he can play bishop to c5, and I have to play rook to f1. This is the variation which I don't like, and that's why I've studied something else before Zagreb Open, and I started to play bishop to d3, which is the most complicated move and the best move for white. Now, black could play several different things. The best move by far is knight to d5, after which I have to play knight to e4, and he can play knight to b4. But my opponent here played bishop to c5. Now, the best move is to castle. and I knew that, but I didn't want to play passively. I just wanted to get an advantage right out of the opening if I could. And I played knight to e4, which I know can lead to complications, but my opponent, fortunately for me, didn't go for all of that. So yeah, you can see that my bishop is hanging after he takes on e4 because of queen here, but I have queen to e2, so he took bishop here. Now with queen here I have queen to e2. He didn't do that though, he played f5, bishop to f3, he played e4, bishop here, he played queen to d4, and now I castle. And he played f5 here, which f4 here, which I think is a very bad move. I think white is already much better here, and I've actually had this position in my preparation already. I've had it several times, and I've been preparing for this line a lot for a FIDE master, in fact. So I actually had all of this prepared, and here in this position I've calculated this variation, and yeah, but it's okay for white. I was aware that I could enter this, but this is still fine. After f4, I can either play c3 d4 because he can't take en passant, or I can play c3 b4. And after c3 he played queen to f6, and I've played b4. Now you can see that I lose the rook and the knight in the worst case, but yeah, I wanted to go for that variation. And my opponent immediately took, and I took. He took my rook, and now I have two moves. One of them is much better. One of them wins faster, and I wanted to go for the other one. The best move is knight to c3, after which I can simply play queen to c2 and bishop to b2, winning the queen if he moves the knight. But I wanted to go for something different after this, and after I decided to take the knight, allow him to take here, and I played bishop to c4, which I think is a very strong position for white. I know that knight to c3 is about +6, not in this exact position, but it's probably the same. I think the position is without f4. And bishop to c4 is about +2, so I was very happy to get this. And the best move here is f3, which he found, which I was very surprised to see. So f3, I have to take, bishop here is the best move, and now I can either play queen here or rook to e1. I decided to play rook to e1, and now he surprised me. I think he should have castled long. That was the best move, and if I ever take on e4 with the rook, then I'm going to have back rank issues. My queen is going to be hanging. Here, what did he play here? Oh yeah, yeah, he surprised me. He played e3, allowing me to take with check. Now, I actually spent a lot of time thinking whether I should recapture with the pawn or with the rook. I took with the rook, and he played king here. Yeah, now he's threatening a checkmate. He's threatening queen to g6 check and checkmate. I have several ways to defend. I can either play rook to e7. He can't take because then his queen is hanging. This was my first consideration. Instead of rook to e7, I can play e3, which I don't think is that good, and I decided to play f4, which is I think the most active move, forcing his bishop to move, and I saw the continuation here. So the best move is bishop to f5, which he played. Now rook to b3. Of course he can't take the pawn because I win the queen. He could try queen to e4, and after this I'm much better, definitely. But yeah, he didn't play that. After rook to b3, he played the best move, queen to a1, and now I have a simple, I believe, win. I'm not sure he can get out of this mess anymore. So rook to b7 check. He can't play king to c8 because of bishop to a6. That would just lose immediately. So he has to play king here. And now, well, yeah, I have to play e3, opening up my bishop, because I want to play f5 and get this idea in. So I played e3, and he blundered now with bishop to c8, because this move just doesn't do anything, it just allows f5. After f5, he of course can't take the rook, because bishop check, and I win the queen. And here he went horribly wrong with h6, and I just played bishop to g5 check. He took the bishop, I took here, and he took my rook. The problem is that I'm winning the bishop as well after queen takes g7. Here, rook to c7, queen to b6, here he resigned. And yeah, it's a fairly straightforward game. Perhaps I should have played knight to c3 in that position, but yeah, I didn't, because I thought I could win faster, and it actually didn't take too long. This was only 30 moves. Okay, round 2. So after round 1, I knew I was going to be paired up in round 2, and I was hoping to get a good game. My opponent is 2100, a very strong player, considering my rating. He usually plays knight to f3, he played e4 though. I played c6, and I've actually prepared for this, because he doesn't play Caro-Kann normally, he plays the Breyer with pawn to d3. So I prepared for this all morning and all evening. So here, knight to d2, e5, the main move, knight to f3, bishop to d6, and now he played this in the last game as well. He plays d4, and now I actually found a variation which I wanted to play, and I prepared this in the morning. So I take here, he takes here, and I took here. After this, knight to c6, and I was very happy with my position, because I was in my preparation. Black has more than equalized. Black is slightly better here. He played knight to f3, knight to f6, bishop to b5, bishop to d7, and here he went horribly wrong. I'm not sure what the engine will say. I'm going to analyze this game with an engine afterwards, because I think I might have had a win at some point. Here he played queen to e2, check, and of course if I cover with the queen, then the position is equal, but I have knight to e4, and now all of my pieces are much more active than his, and he's going to have to do something to equalize now. I think black is just better here. He castled, I castled. Here he played c3, which is a horribly passive move. He should have played c4, challenging my pawn here, which would force me to take on d4. After c3 I played rook to e8, gaining a tempo, threatening all sorts of things. Queen to c2, another tempo, rook to c8, because now he has to be careful tactically. And here he played queen to b3. And now, well, at this point I've only spent about 10 or 15 minutes. And on the last 3 moves I've spent an hour. Well, so you can see all of this going on. Yeah. My queen is entering the position, I have sacrifices and blah blah blah. So I decided to take off some of the pieces. So knight takes, he has to take with the knight. If he takes with the pawn, I'm much better, so knight takes. Now I take the bishop. Bishop takes bishop, he has to take with the queen. If he doesn't take with the queen, if he takes with the knight, then I think this would work. So let's see, takes, king takes, queen check, king here, knight takes. This was my calculation. No, perhaps it doesn't work. Rook here. Yeah, it might not work actually. Here, I guess king here. If he goes to the e file, I think I'm great. Yeah, this is. I'm not sure the engine will say, because this variation is very complicated. I'm not sure about this. So okay, so he didn't take with the knight anyway. He took with the queen, and now I've spent 30 minutes and played the worst move possible. It's not a blunder or anything, but I just couldn't find the forced win. I think this doesn't work now in any case, because he can cover with the queen. So this doesn't work. My d5 pawn isn't hanging, of course, because I can take on h2 and win the queen. My b7 pawn is hanging, however. So one thing I was calculating was a6. If queen takes, then yeah, the variation I mentioned might work. But I'm not sure, the engine will say. So okay, queen takes b5, and I was also calculating queen to h4, but now after knight here and queen to h5, I'm not sure what I have if he takes here, because I can never move my rook up, and it just wouldn't work. After queen takes b5, I was also calculating rook here, and if he plays bishop here, then this. But I guess this doesn't work either, because of knight here. Okay, queen takes b5. Another thing I was calculating was yeah, queen here. One thing I just knew is that he couldn't play g3. I think I at least have a draw here because I can take here, takes. If he takes, it's a draw, or even worse for him because I can now play this, and I'm not sure he can defend. The problem is that he doesn't have to take the knight. He can play rook to f2, and perhaps he can't play rook to f2. Wait, check here. Yeah, he can't play rook to f2. King here. Maybe he can. I'm not sure. Yeah, he can't play rook to f2. Yeah, that was winning, but the problem is that after queen takes b5, if I ever play this, he's just going to play knight to f3, and I have to move my queen. And now once again, this doesn't work because I'm blocking my rook to get to h5, and I'm also not defending f4 anymore. So anyway, after queen takes b5, I played b6, and I'm ashamed of this move because it doesn't really do anything. He played here. What did he play here? Yeah, he played queen to d3, and I played another passive move, bishop to b8. I wanted to get my queen to d6. Here he played bishop to d2, which I was surprised to see, which, well, it allows me to exchange at any point. So queen here, g3. Here I played queen to f6. He played rook a to e8. I played rook to e7. He played f3. Knight takes, queen takes, rook here, rook takes, queen takes. Yeah, now I've definitely given up my advantage and I don't have anything in the position, but I think I'm still okay. I think I'm still equal. Here I've blundered though. He played knight to c6, and instead of playing queen to c5, I played queen to d6, which now allows this, and my pawn is hanging, so I gave up a pawn and I played queen c5 now. Oh yeah, no, I missed a couple of moves. Yeah, okay, first, yeah, he played king to g2 and I played g6. Yeah, king to g2, g6, and now knight c6, queen d6, knight b4, queen c5. He took with the knight here, I played rook to e5, and yeah, this doesn't really work. He did play knight to f6, I played here. He can't play knight to knight here because I can take the queen with check. So in this position he played knight to e4, I played queen to b5, and here he played, what did he play here? I think he played, he might have played rook to f2, I'm not sure though. Wait, I have to check. Sorry. But yeah, this is actually practice for me, I want to be able to remember the game. So okay, queen to b5. Knight e4, queen b5, queen d4. Yeah, okay, he played queen d4 and I played king h6, I'm pinning my rook, rook to f2, and yeah, now I played f5, now I'm just losing. Yeah, and this is move, which move is this? F5, this is move 31. He had about 1 minute on the clock and I had about 9, so we were both in time trouble. After f5 he played c4, forcing my queen away. Luckily my rook is defended, so I played queen to c6. Knight to c3 and I played queen to e6. Queen h4 check, he tried to gain some time. Here, 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 and after king to g7 he played rook to e2, blundering a pawn, and yeah, so he is blundering the c4 pawn. My rook is sufficiently defending, he doesn't have any tricks, so I took on c4, he checked me, but after this he can't really pin my rook, and yeah, this was the position. And here after queen to f6, what did he play here? Yeah, he played rook to d2. And now I've had about 30 seconds on the clock. This was move 39. So one move before time control. This was move 40 in fact, so if I play this move then I get additional 30 minutes. And there is one move I can't play. I wonder if you can spot it. I can play rook to e1, I can play rook to e8, I can play rook to e6, I can play rook to c5, I can play almost anything. I don't even have to move my rook. I played rook to e7 though, and now I'm just losing because queen takes, king takes, knight check, and yeah. This was it, I resigned, and unfortunately I was in time trouble, so I just missed that. I just couldn't think clearly anymore, and I was very upset because I had a winning position and I just messed it up. So okay, let's see the key variations. Okay, here e4. This all okay. Here after knight e4, this is minus 1.4, so black is much better. Castles, castles, c3, a passive move, yeah, minus 1.5, rook to e8, queen to c2, rook to c8, a big advantage for me, queen to b3, and now, bah! Okay, here I took, he took, I took, he took with the queen. Now let's see, okay, the a6 is supposed to be the best move. What happens if queen b7? If a6, queen b7, yeah, then the... Okay, I have this move. Here. Here. And I can win an exchange. Yeah, but... yeah, whatever. After queen takes b5, I played b6. Losing my advantage. Queen d3, bishop b8, bishop d2. So none of this worked. Okay, let's go back. Queen takes b5. Let's see if queen h4 was anything. The engine doesn't even play knight f3. Okay, it says h3. Can I... So I have to go back? Ah. I would never go back. I'm losing both pawns. He can take whichever one he wants, but... Okay, so queen h4 didn't work. This didn't work, I think. Yeah, I have nothing here. So yeah, if, I messed up in time trouble. I should have used my advantage better. I definitely could have played better when I had minus 1.5, but... He's a tough guy, what can you do? Congratulations to my opponent, I hope he does well in the rest of the tournament, and cross your fingers because I have round 3 in about an hour and a half. I'm going to record the video this evening, so let's hope it goes well. I'm going to have the white pieces and probably going to be paired up once again, so let's have a good game. Thanks very much for watching. Once again, I'm sorry for not recording for such a long while, but I just had no time to think or to do anything because I had a lot of work and I played the tournament, so yeah. See you guys this evening. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.